So, I have some disturbing news. My fiber room has a severe moth infection. I know for fiber enthusiasts, that's like some kind of horror story. And you have no idea how bad it is. When I was living in my other house, I kept my fiber in the basement. But the basement was damp and musty, so I bagged it up in space saver bags and sealed it up so it'd all be safe. When I moved to my new house, I opened the bags to let the moisture, dissipate anything that might have been in there. I had a big bag of alpaca, and it was inside some pillowcases. Little did I know that under those pillowcases, there was a breeding farm of epic proportions. So, as I opened the bags in the new house and put it all in the fiber room, life happened, and I didn't go into the fiber room for a while. I was busy doing other things, getting my house organized, had some tragedies I needed to deal with, life. I went in there about a week ago, and there was a literal horde of moths flying everywhere. I was beyond sick. I have probably thousands of dollars invested in various fibers and fleeces and everything else. So I hauled it all out of my basement, put it in the carport, and started researching what could I do? I didn't want to just throw it all out. I mean, obviously the alpaca fiber is gone. It's going to be gone. I haven't gotten rid of it yet because I want to show you how bad it is. So I did some research, and heat will kill it at all stages of life. So above 120 for 45 minutes. So I started kicking around the idea of maybe boiling all the fleece, but then you get into you don't want the water to actually actively boil. You don't want to felt all your fleece because I have some very fine micron merino. Could have put it in the oven. Big risk of it catching on fire and burning and whatnot. So I came across a video where a gentleman's wool suit collection got moths in it. And he used this cool little device called the Zap Bug. And it was designed for use with bed bugs. So you can put the stuff into this unit and then heat it up safely and kill the bugs at all stages of life. So I ordered one. It's here now. I'm going to get it set up and I will show you what happens. But first, I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to show you the alpaca fleece that started this whole mess. It is disturbing, especially for wool lovers. So if you don't want to see it, skip ahead. For those of you who are like me and, just have to see how bad it is, I'll show you. So here's the bag. You can already see from the outside how many moths there are in this. It's sealed right now, don't worry, they can't get out. But when I opened the bag, look at that. They have been breeding in there for who knows how long. And they've gone on, see, look, there's one flying around right there. They've gone on to infest all my fibers. So, let's get started on trying to treat this disaster. So this is the Zap Bug unit. It's like a big tent, foil lined. There's a net here to hold your stuff suspended so the heat can get all the way around it. There's little vents to let some of the heat out. Then you just close the lid, turn it on. This is the heater. And that's Bubble, one of my cuties. So we're going to pop the heater into this here, load the fiber into here, And then in the middle of all of that, we have a little thermometer sensor that will tell us when it gets up to temperature. So we put this in the middle of the fiber, in the thickest part, and this will let us see what the actual temperature is. So I've got a mesh laundry bag here, and I have my beautiful 18 micron merino that I got from Camage Fiber Arts. As you can see, moths. It's absolutely sickening. Now, a lot of my bags were closed, and I don't think that the moths got in it, but I'm going to treat everything just to be sure. So I'm going to load these up in the laundry bag, put them into the zap bug, and we're going to give this a go. Just to show the various methods I tried to treat this before buying the zap bug unit. I tried using a dehydrator and laying the roving out, but it was not getting up to temperature. I even sprayed it with a little bit of vinegar because apparently they can't survive the vinegar, and that won't really harm fleece. But I want to be sure that these are dead. So dehydrator, no, won't work. So I've loaded these in. I'm going to keep my load small to start because apparently it takes a long time to get up to temperature, and it might work better doing smaller batches. So I have my little temperature sensor, and I'm going to bury this right in the middle. Then we'll seal up the bag and get it in the unit and go from there. All right, so there is actually a good deal of room in here, but since this is the maiden voyage and I'm pretty nervous, I'm going to keep it with just this small batch. Now, the unit is then put into this little sleeve, and then don't mind the mess, plug it into the wall with the timer. Now, they do say to be sure, because it draws such a high current, that your wiring is good. My kitchen is newly renovated. I know the wiring is reliable, so that's why I'm doing it in the kitchen. So I'm going to get this sealed up and turned on, and we'll see how loud it is. All right, we've got the unit running. It's actually really quiet. I'm very impressed. Got it all sealed up. You're going to make sure your vent holes aren't blocked. You can't really see them from this side, but there they are. There's one. There's one over here. So this is going to heat up my house ridiculously. They don't recommend you use it outside though, because it draws from the ambient air and uses that to keep the temperature up. So here's my little thermometer. This is the ambient room temperature, and this is the temperature inside the zap bug. So it's saying 76.4, nicely insulated in there. So I'm going to play some Animal Crossing for a while with that little ambient temperature wireless thing beside me, and we'll see how it goes. I've set the timer for 4 hours, and we'll see what happens. I'll get back at you. So we're at almost 8 hours of this running. It's been above 120 for an hour now. So theoretically all the bugs should be killed. I'm just going to let it run out since it's close to the timer stopping anyways, and it never hurts to be a little safe. So you can see my house temperature has come up by 3 degrees. Feels like a lot more because I've got the AC shut off. Kind of seems silly to be running a heater while running the AC. So it's here in the kitchen. I did find that I turned it so that the vents were recycling the air quicker, and it did help it heat up a little faster. So that's the first batch baked. 8 hours. This is going to take a while. So I let my fiber cool overnight. There's Bobo giving us a hand. So now I'm going to put it into the Ziploc sealing bags so that it can't become recontaminated. So we'll open this up. There's our fiber. I'm going to get it Ziploc baggied and sealed. So that's batch number 1 done. I'm going to put it into my shed for 3 or 4 weeks, keep checking it, make sure that there are no moths in it, and hopefully this process will work. I will keep you updated, and I will keep working my way through my incredibly huge fiber stash, let you know if this system actually works. So if you get a moth infection, maybe he will work. Just try it.